Hello YouTube family, James Green, short series Shenanigans. So, carrying on from the previous video of we cut this out with the plasma cutter, now we're going to be arc welding it. So, if you watched the end of the last video, I was a little concerned when I looked out and saw my Datsun running down the road. They came home. The gate was open and they went on an excursion. So, doggy crisis averted, everyone's home safe, and back onto what we were doing. So, we're going to be welding on the strike face. Let me get you guys down here and I'll start explaining what we got going on. Where we cut this, we got it clamped in place with a can't twist clamp. I've got a fan running in the background to get the fumes out. I've got the garage door down a little bit so it's not so blinding. We got our ground clamp on. I'm going to blow some of the dust out of this here. Alright. We're going to get set up. We're going to be doing some arc welding here. So I have not used the Lincoln TIG 200 Squarewave on arc yet. I have not even tested it on arc. So I do not know how it is going to work. However, I like these types of stingers. You put your rod in and you twist it and lock it in. This is the same one I've used before on my Everlast. It's one that I use a lot on stuff like that. Let me get my big heavy gloves here. I use these for arc welding too. So you're going to see it for the first time like I do. Power it up here. Dial her over on 120 and it's on stick, and we are running some Lincoln rod. I'll show you guys. That's the rod that we're running right there. Alright, just opened it, brand new box. So we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to start here on the back side. I'm going to do a couple of tack welds so I can get this off, and we'll get going. I'm just going to go ahead and lay a full rod back here on the back side while I got it running. We're just laying it right down in the weld prep. I'll lay a full rod in the back and then I'll lay a full one in the front. Run about 120 amps. Just laying it in there, letting it burn in. I like that. Strike an arc and just let it lay in there. Same thing here. We're just going to strike an arc and let it lay in. Whoop. Get over here on this side so I can use my right hand. 10. Huh, look at that. All the damn flux is popping off the rod. Holy crap. Maybe that's an issue. That's why the other one's jacked up. Huh. Let's try this again. There we go. You guys see it live and unedited. That's the way you like it to go, nice and easy. Here we go. See, that's the stuff I don't edit out. When welds go bad. And now, I'll lay one here, and then I'll lay one there, and we'll come back and we'll just keep working around. I think I'm going to turn it up just a little bit. I'm going to go up to, let's go to 125. I think what I'm going to do is lay this way with it. Why? Because we can. Let's try that. There we go. That's the way to do it. Getting that first pass down in there. Lots more to go. If it were easy, everybody be doing it. This is easy. This is how I like it. Beat after beat after beat. Here we go. Doing good. I'm going to add a little more heat. Go 30. I'm not going to go hotter than that on the 8-inch rod here. Don't need to go hotter than that. Definitely take this off. It's not going anywhere, that's for sure. It'll be right in here. Come on. Come on. There we go. lot more strings to run. I love that. There we go. All right. I flipped the power switch and it's still running to cool off. Let me grab my trusty 1980 vintage, or 83 vintage Makita. Everyone's like, how do you know it's that old? Well, let me tell you a little story about the old Makita here. So, I recently put a new cord on it because the original one had too many grinder cuts. This is way back before. Now this did have a shield on it at one time. You can see where it had the 3 screw things. That has been long since removed before my dad gave it to me. So, old school. It was made in April of 1983 according to the build date on here. This is before they started having handles on them. Okay? And this is why because you guys know I have a short finger, so that's why that glove's chewed up, because at times it gets there. But this is what I use when I'm welding stuff like this. Just likes these wire brushes. Here. And I get under the hammer. That is, if I can go back here. Yeah, I've got a little old cheap body hammer that I use for, as well as another type of hammer for slag. And it just comes right off. And then, I like this function, this welding helmet. Got a grinding shield. Yeah, it doesn't take much. It cleans up stuff really well. Got lots of beads to lay in there. Lots of beads. This one kind of laid down onto here. Didn't get tagged so much there halfway through. But got a lot of beads to lay in there. Get it in. All that sorts of good stuff. Slowly, slowly. I'll zoom you guys in a little bit. You guys can see, I'm trying to look at the viewfinder here. You can see where, loosen that. Yeah. Not the best, but, you know, you could see where it welded onto the bottom and part of it didn't on the top. But we're going to keep going, and then after this, I'm not going to have to focus on paying attention to what I'm doing for the camera. I can just weld and pay more attention to my welding instead. So yeah, the bead actually laid and welded down halfway through and didn't weld at the top on this one. The others are good. But I'm going to make a lot of passes, build that up. That's the first I've used this Lincoln TIG 200 Squarewave. We were set on 130 amps there at the end, and it burned a lot better on the back. We started out 120 here, and then we bumped it to 125, and then we're on 130. You don't want to go above 130, 135 max, but I'm running 1/8 inch. I'll probably leave it at 130 for what I'm doing, and we're just going to keep doing round robins. We'll go so far. I'll do 4 rods because we know they're not going to overlap. I'll stop and chip just like you saw, clean off the flux, do 4 more rods, and just keep going until we fill all that up and we get it good and built up. Again, it's an anvil. On this end of it, I've got room, so if I want to put a vise, I can put a vise that's going to be strictly for beating on. Like if I come across a good old-fashioned, you know, that I don't mind heating and beating and bending on. That one right now, I have that one. I try to take care of that one, but I'll probably find another vise that if I want to throw something hot in or heat on it and then beat and bend, I don't worry about it. It'll be a blacksmithing vise. So that's why all this room on the other end. This thing, when I get done, is going to be up a little higher. When I get done, this strike face will be about, I'll show you guys. Everybody's out of curiosity. So when I get done, this will be about this high. So it's going to be about a foot taller. So when I get done, my hammer will stop right about there. I'm not having to bend over and all that. And it's going to be where we can roll it around. So there you go. Cool beans. Had a couple of junky rods to begin with, but that's okay. I've got a couple of 100 more pounds of rod to use up. Not a showstopper. Outstanding stuff. You don't want to set that down where you just welded and melt your helmet. Did that mistake when I was a kid and learned don't ever do that again. That was the first tool I remember when I was about 10 years old. We got through welding. Dad was teaching me the old Lincoln cracker box welder, the Tombstone. We got through welding something. I set the helmet down and it melted the hood and the lens. So that was the first tool I had to pay for that I had to go down and get another. But it was kind of nice because the other one was all, and it was wore out. The halo for the helmet, the harness, because it would fall down. It was one of the old ones that, you know, you only had a lens this big to look through. So what I did was, that was my first chance to buy my own helmet, because the helmet he gave me was a hand-me-down. So I had a chance to buy a helmet that had a big screen, and I forget what it was. Dad paid for it, and I worked 2 months. I remember I had to work 2 solid months was the agreement. And I, you know, when you're 10 years old, that's forever. So I worked 2 solid months after school and on the weekends to pay for that helmet. And that helmet lasted me for, you know, years. Where it's at now, I don't know. It disappeared, but got lots and lots. So I learned the lesson. Watch where you set stuff down when you're done welding so you don't melt it. So there we go, moving right along. This is all prefacing being able to do a barber chair build for a friend of mine, Rebel. I'll just give you his first name, local veteran shout out. So there we go. Lots of stuff going on, lots of neat things. I know I'm going to be seeing you guys out there, California Bar Z Summer Bash, June. Last part of June, 23rd, 4th, 5th, and I believe 26th if I remember right. I am going to be out there. We're going to go out there, do our deal, and come back because I've got a lot of stuff going on here. So I look forward to meeting you guys and gals out there. I am going to take some stuff to sell, not as much as I've done in the last 2 years, just because, you know, I've gotten rid of a lot of it, but I'm going to be bringing a lot of neat books. I'm going to be bringing some tools and stuff to sell. Bring cash. Cash is the best thing out there. So there we go. Thanks for watching, you guys. If you have any questions, comments below in the box. I'm always open to constructive, positive comments. I'm always learning. The day you stop learning is the day you need to sell your tools and just go do something else. So anyway, thanks for watching. And I say it every time, and I can't emphasize this enough. Take care of yourself and take care of your family, because remember, at the end of the day, you and your family is all you got. Until next time, get out in the garage, weld on some stuff. This is awesome. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.